Yo, what up? This is D Knight, and you're listening to the Pardon the Interaction podcast. My oh my, we've had so much going on. For starters, in case you missed it, we've got a new addition to the Pardon Pie family, Tara Dublin. Make sure you go follow her on Twitter at Tara Dublin Rocks. Also, pick up a copy of her book while you're at it. Make her day, The Sound of Settling. A very fun and interesting read compared to the things we talk about on this podcast. But yeah, we're heading toward the do or die time for the 2024 election. Go ahead and hit up joebiden.com. Get that man like $1 a month or something. Help his campaign staff up and get prepared to try and save our democracy. And make sure to grab like one other person you know and tell them about the podcast. Make sure they subscribe and tune in every single week. We got a lot of things coming up for you this year. We need all the support that we can get. So if you do your part and help us grow our audience, we'll do our part and help elect Joe Biden in 2024 and save American democracy. And this is the Pardon the Interaction podcast.
Then why the fuck were we paying $1,700 a month for this place and that house was empty? I go, we could have been saving that if you knew you were going broke. Like, why would you wait until literally my last month of my lease? And I was like, oh, I can't pay your rent this month. And I'm like, fuck. But I just met Steve, and Steve gave me the money, so at least I was able to get out without an eviction.
I mean, thank God for Steve.
Yeah, seriously. But
He's
yeah,
saving the day.
and that's another thing. Like, he would never tell me, like, ahead of time. It'd be like, oh, it's the first of the month. I ain't got no money. And I'm like, why the fuck didn't you say something last month or 2 months before or the other? Like, he goes, well, I would have told you, but you wouldn't have saved a dime anyway, so.
Yeah, it seems like he didn't have as much faith and trust in you as he should have. Maybe you
or respect.
Or that. I mean, I thought that was a given. But, maybe you could have organized some things so it wouldn't have gone downhill so badly.
Exactly. And I go, and if you know that things are going bad, like, why would you? I guess that was like kind of his like machismo hang up, because he didn't want to admit that he wasn't the man. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, this is the person I was describing to Derek earlier before you came.
He owns Twitter.
Yeah.
Who?
I was describing a gentleman earlier. He owns Twitter.
Yes. Similar.
He makes a series of escalatingly poor decisions. I think that's the name of a comedy show.
And then continues to double down because he can't admit that he's wrong or that he made a mistake.
I don't know that guy. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't.
You were married to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Or just like a little more.
Well, Elon isn't Mexican. He's African.
I made a tweet. I was like, white people have been chomping at the bit to send an African American back to the motherland.
Yeah, right. Why can't it be him? Why can't it be him? Okay.
He's that immigrant, that criming immigrant that comes over here to suck up our resources and crime that we've heard about.
All right, Ty.
All right, let's read some stuff.
Yeah, we'll
do it.
We'll do podcast time.
It's 11:40 here.
I'm sorry. Oh shit, it is. Oh,
that's right. I'm not that sleepy, but
oh great.
Wait, whoa, hold on. Number 7, Derek. Biden's cars explode. What?
Yeah, that's some shit. I read that briefly, and like the headline was so calm.
What the?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, this is D Knight.
This is Carol.
This is Ty.
And you're listening to the Pardon the Interaction podcast. All right, Carol, let's move on to some other things. We've had our fun with the seditious conspiracy for today. I'm sure that will be coming back up in the future. Won't be going away. Yeah, on to other things.
Okay. Pence asked to testify by the Department of Justice. The U.S. Department of Justice has asked former Vice President Michael Pence to testify in the criminal investigation into Donald Trump's effort to overturn the 2020 election results, according to a person familiar with the matter.
That would be Mike Pence's lawyer, just in case that's not spelled out for you.
The request,
Greg Jacob?
Yeah, that's the guy.
That guy.
The request came before the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, Ty's boyfriend, appointed before
Look,
Attorney
he's
General.
also my boo. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Before Merrick Garland appointed my side dude.
Oh.
Okay.
Man, you got too many relationships going on in the Department of Justice. Like, this could quickly spiral out of control.
It's gonna get weird. It's gonna get weird.
It's gonna get weird.
And I'm the fourth wheel because Merrick Garland's my guy too. All right, sorry.
Okay, I want. It's third wheel because I don't need to be there.
You forgot Jack Smith.
The request came before the Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed a special counsel last week to oversee inquiries examining Trump, which are focused on two areas: potential mishandling of national security documents and the January 6th Capitol attack.
We love you, Merrick Garland.
Garbu. Pence is considering testifying because, unlike the congressional investigation, which he has panned, not planned, which he has.
Yeah, he planned the other thing. He planned the attack, not the investigation.
Which he has panned. The New York Times earlier reported the department wants him to appear before a federal grand jury and could compel his cooperation with a subpoena. It's flawless.
Yes.
I love how the Department of Justice is looking at the January 6th committee like my subpoena is bigger than yours.
I'm sure they work nicely together. They're like turning over all the documents.
Two subpoenas are better than one.
True.
Like, look at all these document tabs. This is so well organized.
Two subpoenas are better than one.
All right, Carol, continue.
Even if Pence is willing to testify, however, the matter could be further complicated should Trump attempt to block Pence's testimony by asserting executive privilege, potentially prompting months of legal wrangling over what Pence is allowed to divulge.
I don't think Trump will actually do that because he's been rather hesitant to claim executive privilege in the past. What he generally does is he tells that person to say that he claimed executive privilege even when he hasn't, and he refuses to do so.
But Trump tried to play that with Greg Jacob and Pence's former chief of staff, Mark Short, and then he lost.
Yeah.
So
January 6th
well, he wants someone else to incur the legal fees.
Yeah. It's not going to be Rona.
Anyway,
I'll call her Rona.
Executive privilege. I mean, there's a couple holes in trying to assert that anyway. And one of those is just the fact, hey, look, this is a fucking criminal investigation. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. All right, continue, Carol.
Yeah, but potentially prompting months of legal, like, hopefully it wouldn't, because as of now, at least, we have competent, diligent employees at the helm of the Justice Department, and they're not gonna, they'll file some petty appeals or like privilege requests, and they'll just deal with it right away. You'll get a result like Christmas Day. They'll be like, no, here's your response. Like, we're not delaying this any longer.
Have you seen Jack Smith's face? He ain't fucking around. He ain't got time for this bullshit.
My God, Jack Smith.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is he Jewish too?
Yes. He's so delicious.
All right, we went from
I'm sorry, I'm moist. Okay.
We went from 2 girl, 1 guy threesomes to 2 DOJ, 1 podcast host threesomes. Fun times. Ty, I guess you could record that for us at least if you're going to leave us out.
Can we interview them when you're done or before?
That'd be the best part. Please, like,
when
do
you're
whatever you
done, they'll be relaxed
to get the exclusive interview with Jack Smith and Merrick Garland on the record.
He's so sexy. There's something. Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah, like one would have to be my side G because I'm not a faithful person.
I mean, competent.
Like, why can't they both be your main dude and you just be in the middle? Well, remember, 2 subpoenas are better than 1. All right, Carol, go. After you.
Are better than 1.
We're gonna get canceled. This is just off the rails.
I'd go in public with Garland, and
you sneak around with Jack Smith.
Would be he'd be my at-home bae.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So, the kind of moments that federal prosecutors would likely be likely to ask about Pence include a phone call between Trump and Pence at 11:20 a.m. Eastern time on the morning of the Capitol attack, when Trump attempted to bully Pence into commandeering and delaying the ceremonial certification of Biden's election win in Congress.
Is this the time where Trump called him a bitch? Is that this?
Oh,
this particular...
yeah, remember, right? He's like, "Don't be a pussy" or something like that.
Oh yeah, don't be a fucking pussy. That's what it was.
I think, that probably was.
Well, first of all, you can't even accuse Mike Pence of being a pussy because he's never seen one of those and doesn't even know what you'd be referring to. He doesn't know what a pussy is like or what it feels like or what it looks like. Mother won't allow him not only to be near a pussy, but she also would find it offensive if he was one. Sorry, continue. Sorry, got off track there. My apologies.
Right.
Didn't he also tweet like, Mike Pence is a friend of mine, but lately he's not been a very good friend, and if he's not careful, I'm not going to be his friend anymore.
Yeah, that was some weird shit too.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Trump's words and the gist of I'm going to be your friend. Trump's words and the gist of the call were revealed when Oval Office aides described it to the House January 6th Select Committee. What Pence said in response remains unclear. After the call, Pence went to the Capitol and said in a statement distributed through his office that he could not carry out Trump's wishes. He proceeded to certify Biden's win as Trump supporters and far-right extremist groups such as the Proud Boys stormed the Capitol. And we all know it was his phone call with Dan Quayle.
I mean, I want to know. Yeah, well, I want to know what Pence said in response to Trump calling him a fucking pussy. Give me those details.
Right? No,
it's not important to the investigation. I just want to know what he said. Like, was he like, "God damn it, you're right, I'm such a fucking pussy," or was he like,
"Takes one
how
to know
dare
one,
you,
sir?"
Yeah, probably.
I would have told him, "So's your neck." So fucking.
Yes, his neck does look like a vaginal orifice.
I don't think that Pence has the balls to clap back.
He probably said something like, "That's most unbecoming," or like,
I mean, yeah.
But if I was on you, I'd unbecoming too.
You're right. Like, he didn't have the balls to stand up to Trump after Trump tried to have him killed, so he definitely didn't do it then. You're absolutely correct, Carol.
Anyway, the former vice president could also shed light on Trump's intent and overt participation in the effort to overturn the 2020 election results, as well as whether Trump was warned those efforts were illegal, which would be critical for prosecutors as they weigh whether to issue charges. So, I mean, at least based on what we saw in those hearings, he knew his lawyers were consistently telling him, and there's all sorts of documentary evidence, like their email trail continuously advising him. And didn't they show text and emails showing that they were like, yeah, he knows. Like, I told him, but he wants me to, yeah.
Yes. And, not to mention the fact that they had like the whole other separate plot about the fake electors. And, was that Ron Johnson's guy was trying to like hand deliver them to Pence on the floor at the, yeah, he's well aware.
And anyway, that issue is this concept of willful blindness and whether Trump continued to pursue strategies that he was warned could violate the law.
Okay, I put that in the notes, but like, it's not willful blindness. This is like an active conspiracy. Like, these motherfuckers plotted this shit out. Like, I mean, yeah, willful blindness could be a factor as far as the violence is concerned. Maybe, maybe Pence could shed some light on whether Trump knew there would be violence or not. Obviously, I don't think there's anything exculpatory Pence could offer, but yeah, like the plot is too well developed and Pence knows too much. And this idea that Pence is just a fucking witness and not a co-conspirator, I think is rather ridiculous. Like, the dude was doing his very best to figure out, like, hey, Trump, I'll try and figure out every way I can possibly help you.
Yeah.
I just need somebody to give me the go ahead. And everyone he called was like, bitch, no.
Exactly. And that's my point too. Like, people are like, oh, Pence did. And I'm like, he waited. He fucking actually like made some calls trying to find a way.
He called Dan Quayle.
He's like, Danny, you're the last guy I got. You're going to tell me this is okay, right?
Bitch, we canceled Dan Quayle 15 years ago.
When you're calling Dan Quayle for advice, that tells you everything you need to know.
And when Dan Quayle is like, nigga, this is crazy, like, you fucked up. You've gone horribly awry in your decision-making process.
Dan Quayle was like, girl, bye.
Yeah. This is insane. I don't know what the Department of Justice is waiting on. Like, stop jerking off this shit. Like, put the subpoena out there, slap him in the face with it, make him come testify. And if he asserts his Fifth Amendment right, all right, great. Then he's a target. There you go. That's the solution. All right. In other news, Biden's cars explode. He was either driving Teslas or someone was trying to take him out.
Okay, this shit is fucking wild. And why? This is literally our pod. Is this the first time that I've heard anything about this?
Well, I'll get into the details for you. Several vehicles rented by President Biden's Secret Service team suddenly burst into flames in a Nantucket airport parking lot early Monday, less than 24 hours after they were returned. The SUVs rented from Hertz, y'all fucking up. Get it together. Like, y'all ain't gonna be a sponsor out here trying to kill my homie like this. Hertz carried the president and his family during their Thanksgiving vacations to the Massachusetts island. No injuries were reported, though the car sustained significant damage from the blaze just feet away from the airport jet fuel tanks, video shows. That could have been a fucking horrific disaster. The vehicles impacted include a Chevy Suburban, a Ford Explorer, an Infiniti QX80, a Jeep Gladiator, and a Ford Expedition, the last of which was currently under a battery recall and had not yet been serviced, according to the Nantucket Current. I guess that's their local news.
Yeah.
The Current reported that at approximately 5:22 a.m., airport shift staff observed an active fire in the rental car overflow area through the airport's closed-circuit television system. The airport said in a statement, adding that there is no longer an active fire at this time. The airport is open and aeronautical operations are not affected. The cause of the fire is currently under investigation, but one of the vehicles, the Ford you know what? I think I put that in there already. So ignore that. All right. So I saw the picture of the fucking cars. I've never seen any fucking cars explode like that other than either in movies or Teslas.
Or Grand Theft Auto.
Okay. Or video games. It was some video games physics level explosions of these fucking cars. Now, I know, like, I'm being tongue in cheek. I'm fairly certain no one is out here trying to blow up the president of the United States.
What?
Ironically,
I think a lot of people are.
I mean, ironically, as the GOP is about to take control of the House of Representatives and they're about to have like the Speaker of the House will become the third in line of the presidency. So you can't imagine any scenario or circumstances where like someone would try and take out Biden at this point in time. Like that'd just be a huge coincidence. Like,
see, you were being facetious.
Oh, it's just a coinky-dink.
Facetious.
It's just a coinky-dink.
He was being facetious.
But, okay, so were the vehicles that Biden was in, like, if they were the only one, that's definitely sus. Like, the DOJ should be all over that.
Now, what we're assuming is it's the one vehicle that caught fire and exploded, and the fire spread to the other vehicles. I'm guessing when they returned them, they all parked them in the same place. You know, when you show up in a caravan of rental cars and you all park them at the same place at the same time, and then like just the one fire. But yeah, it's oddly suspicious, oddly suspect.
Yeah, maybe they all drove in the wrong way over the spikes.
And you're gonna say, "Hey, you're just being conspiratorial." You're like one of those.
No, it sounds like it was to me. My first was like, "Why are they reporting the headline this way when it sounds like an assassination attempt?"
Yeah, no, exactly, Carol. That's exactly that was exactly my first thought.
Like it was such a weird phrasing. Like cars having been previously rented to Biden were exploded.
Well, the strangest part of it is like no national media is covering it at all. So we're like,
yes, and I'm actually like right now I'm talking to you guys, and I'm like, I'm gonna drop this and put it in the pitch it, because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I comb news every day. Like I get up before I take the kids to school, and I'm saying because I'm here on couple hours behind. So news that happens at, on the East Coast, it's already going. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I have seen nothing about this. Not even a mild headline, like you were saying, Harold.
Nope.
Like, kind of poo-pooing. Like, oh, vehicle that was transporting President Biden after it was dropped off blew up. Ooh. Like, but it's like, this is huge.
I mean, it should be. I mean, and you could say, hey, you guys are, the audience listening, you'd be like, oh, listen to these motherfuckers, y'all are being ridiculous. Hey man, people just got convicted of a secret plot to try and overthrow the government literally today.
Yeah.
So anything's possible. Let's not just write it off. It's like, oh, just
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. People on trial for, you know, trying to kill the vice president and overthrow the government, and then the president's car blows up.
Well,
all right.
In Pence's case, he kind of deserves it, but Biden's a good guy.
And then, you know what also got like no coverage was when Madam Harris was involved in that car accident in that tunnel. Like, you know, fucking Princess Diana style. And it was covered nowhere. Like, it was, well, she was in the fucking car that got into that accident in that tunnel. Maybe Hunter's laptop did it.
I don't think Hunter's laptop can
I don't know if you've heard, but that laptop apparently it does some shit.
I mean, I just want to assume that there's no scenario like a car bomb underneath the carriage of the vehicle or something. Like I'm assuming the Secret Service does these kind of sweeps. It just, I don't have any answers for you. It's some really weird, strange shit. We'll probably not get any answers about this anytime soon or ever. Just given the nature of, you know, how often the Secret Service keeps fucking up and then just covering shit up. We'll never know.
I
ain't
don't
gonna forget
service anymore. Like, I used to have a lot of respect for the Secret Service, and you know,
oh man, they've been fucking up so bad.
Yeah, like I always felt like, you know, Secret Service, they were the gold standard and nonpartisan. They're there, their job or whatever. But during the January 6th hearings and seeing like that, they knew of a credible threat to Speaker Pelosi.
Yep, and they was going to let her catch a bullet.
Yeah, and said nothing. And then on the day of the attack that, you know, the communications that were had between them and, you know, the deleting of the texts and all. And
all right, fuck it. I'm going to buy Carol Lennox's book, Zero Fail, The Rise and Fall of the Secret Service. I'm just go ahead and check that out. I'll give you the review in a couple weeks and let you know if it's worth it. Because, yeah, the Secret Service has been fucking up.
I'm sleepy.
All right, we'll wrap this up shortly. One more headline to go, and we'll get you to bed, Carol. So
you want to talk about the Black Nazi?
I was heading right there. So a Black Nazi, a white supremacist, and a pedophile walk into a former president's bar. No, that's not a joke. That happened in real life.
No.
That's some real shit.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't even know they made Black Nazis. Like, it seems kind of antithetical to how the whole Nazi thing works, where like the blue-eyed, blonde-haired, superior race ideology thing seems to just inherently disinclude. I don't even know if that's a word.
It's wild. Did
All
you
right.
guys see the tweet where like Nick Fuentes supposedly like was tweeting from Ye's account?
Okay, let's just start from the beginning here. Trump has faced swift backlash from members of his own party after hosting Nick Fuentes. I want to say like Fuentes, like, you know, Hispanic, but I think he's just Nick Fuentes. Anyway, avowed white supremacist, Kanye West, newly minted anti-Semite, and Milo Yiannopoulos, who resigned from Breitbart for being pro-pedophile. And when you lose your job at Breitbart, you really fucked up in life. Things have gone horribly wrong. At his Mar-a-Lago estate last Tuesday. Man, that's incredible. Anyway, the meeting came. Hey, look, Trump should have known Milo Yiannopoulos was all bad after George Papadopoulos. Like, if you got a name that's remotely close to that, it's bad news. Anyway, the meeting came a week after the former president announced it. Trump, fucking, how did we ever end up with him as president? The meeting came after a week came a week after the former president announced he would seek the Republican presidential nomination in 2024. This motherfucker couldn't wait. He announced he was running for president and immediately brought the Nazis in. Some in Trump's orbit had cautioned him not to have dinner with Ye, under fire for anti-Semitism in the first place, according to two sources who had been briefed on an internal damage assessment the campaign performed after the controversy erupted. But Trump is known for refusing to heed cautious counsel, guardrails, and gatekeepers. And I say that, but like, actually, the last couple of months or so, Trump has actually been fairly fucking reserved. Like he's reading from a teleprompter. And he's not tweeting on Twitter, even though Musk let him back on. And he's like, I just out here he didn't go to campaign in Georgia because he knows like, it would definitely cause Herschel Walker to lose if he did. Like, Trump has somehow managed to set his ego aside and put himself in check and not go out here and do this wild, crazy shit.
So that sounds crazy. Do you think if it sounds too good to be true, do you think it might be? Do you think maybe they just don't let him out?
Oh,
kind of serious.
You think Trump's secretly on house arrest? No, because he's gotten the campaign.
No. That's not what I meant. I meant like people in his inner circle who are like his entourage.
They finally
completely ruining his illusion.
I think what has happened here is the only thing these people fucking care about is losing. It's the only thing that actually affects them. And when they keep losing over and over, they actually start to reevaluate their lives and not necessarily to, become better people or change, but just to
how to be better at being worse people.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
No,
that's spot on, Carol.
Right.
They're like, we need to be better at being the worst. Like that's their their thing. They're just trying to figure out how they can be better at being fucking awful.
And that said, Trump went ahead with the dinner alone, telling confidants that he thought Ye needed his counsel. One confidant told NBC that Trump acknowledged that he wanted the rapper to be seen because it would be fun for the members of Mar-a-Lago. Party time down there. Woo! He's like
a monkey.
Yeah.
So is Kanye's music gonna become like a symbol for Nazism?
You mean like the YMCA song?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I was at maybe I'm just paranoid, but I was at the Union Square Christmas market today in New York. And this old white dude was just standing there blasting Kanye and bouncing and just looked like, who's raising their hand? What's going on? Anyway.
It wasn't me.
I
know you caught me on the camera.
Like, does this guy?
It wasn't me. I know you saw it in the emails. It wasn't me. I tried to kill Mike Pence. It was. Anyway,
I even brought my own news.
That's not Kanye. Kanye is more like, Trump's daughter got married here recently, so I'm assuming Gold Digger would be more up their alley. She take my money.
Oh my God, that would have been so funny if they blasted Gold Digger during the fucking wedding, like the reception.
Yeah.
I ain't saying she a gold digger. My friend Lizette is so funny. She calls them fortune seekers.
Way to put a positive spin on it. Trump issued 3 successive statements in his many days on his Truth social media platform, admitting Fuentes was there while disavowing knowledge of his identity prior to and during the dinner. I'm not actually going to read what he said because anyway. But none of his statements disavowed the hate speech associated with Fuentes, prompting more criticism that the former president is reluctant to distance himself too much from the racists because they're part of his political base of support. Of course, can't piss off the fucking people that'll vote for you no matter how terrible they are. Amid the backlash, however, the campaign began reviewing internal procedures to ensure someone like Fuentes never winds up with Trump again, according to 2 sources familiar with the discussions. U.S. Secret Service distanced itself from the incident and said, of course, the U.S. fucking Secret Service did. They distanced themselves from every fucking disaster they create. They distanced themselves from the incident and said in a statement Monday that as a private club, Mar-a-Lago security is in charge of who may have been allowed to access their facilities. Bullshit.
Yeah,
unless the Secret Service said we are monitoring this. But that's bullshit.
That's some bullshit. Yeah, we're the Secret Service, like the most top notch. We defend presidents, but we know what was going on. That was up to local security. What the fuck kind of shit is that?
Well,
Like,
maybe they subtext is like Trump, whatever Trump says goes, man. We don't want to fight with him. He's mean and stupid.
Hey, remember that time, in Mar-a-Lago, the FBI executed a search warrant and found a whole bunch of classified documents there? It seems like the Secret Service might actually decide, hey, maybe this would be a good time to check the identities of the people allowed.
Of checking the identity of people coming into. Like, if you need Secret Service, then that signals that, anybody can't just come in.
I mean, these dudes are the Pink Panthers of security. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, but that's crazy. And they're just like, well, we have nothing to do with that. Then why the fuck are you here?
Every time we look up, they fucking up.
They are I don't know what the fuck is going on with the Secret Service. Like, seriously, I think it's like, I don't know, Kyle Rittenhouse service. Like, it's just fucking the quality that they seem to have these days. And, the more that's revealed about their fuckery, Biden was spot on when he fired everybody, when he got rid of the team and got a new one, after he was, inaugurated.
The Secret Service has more red flags than all of my past relationships combined.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's just some shit. And just like reading their internal like messages and communications, I'm like, it's really like
they need to change their name to the Secret Disservice.
Yeah,
because they keep fucking up.
That's totally a title. I gotta find an article to write around that. Secret Disservice.
You're welcome.
I love it. No,
just credit me with the.
That's spot on. But it's so like it's disheartening because these are the people that are responsible for, taking care of our commander-in-chief. And
these are the people responsible for checking the president's cars to make sure they don't explode 24 hours.
There's not a fucking bomb underneath.
Yeah.
Or
very responsible individuals.
Or not leave a bunch of, fireworks and booze in there with their the bag of rocks they bought.
And then a number of prominent Republicans have come out to denounce the dinner directly or anti-Semitism in general, including Mitch McConnell, Mike Pence, Mitt Romney, and others.
Oh, I miss him. He was my babe for a while.
Who that?
Romney?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, now I'm really starting to question your taste in men. Like Merrick Garland, I got Jack Smith. He's got like the rugged, handsome thing. Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney is an abhorrent person. He's slightly less. He's less gruff.
But he has a giant penis, and that's all that matters to Ty.
I don't know about that, but he's a handsome man.
Is he?
He is a good looking man.
Well, I'm kind of jealous.
God. He is so good looking. And I mean, you guys
I gotta Google Mitt Romney and just like I know what he looks like. I can't believe I have to Google this to make sure he's handsome.
I was a Republican. Okay,
bitch, we striking that from the podcast. No one can ever know.
Or look at his 5 hot sons.
Oh my God, that man. Oof. I mean, Paul Ryan used to be my fucking screensaver. I'm sorry.
This is very weird. This is very odd confessions. Yeah. Editing all of that out. Totally. Hey,
Paul Ryan.
Well, he's Catholic. I'm Catholic, and those baby blues, and he's got a lot of kids, which means he likes to have a lot of sex. So
I mean, Ronna McDaniel's also handsome, like Mitt Romney.
No, shoot, that bitch. That bitch looks like when you're 5.
All right, let's not get into women's looks on the podcast.
No, I'm saying
definitely
she
cancel
looks like
territory.
her makeup. It reminds me of like when a 5-year-old gets into her mommy's makeup and puts the red lipstick and it's like all over the face. And the makeup like, hey, mommy, you're pretty.
I mean, she does kind of rosy up her cheeks a little too much with the blush.
Except the rouge. I don't like it. And she looks like she's always sweating.
All right. Well, just editing all of this part out. We just can't be. Yeah. Yeah. You're like, oh, Ronna McDaniel looks hot. You mean, oh, she's sexy? No, she just looks like she's always sweating. All right.
And she dropped my bae's name, so fuck her.
That she does. Carol, do you have any closing thoughts this evening?
Runoffs, Georgia. Vote by December 6th. Do it. Do the voting. I've seen organizations on Twitter for ride sharing, not organizations with Twitter presences for ride sharing. If Twitter still exists by then, well, it's still there now. So go make sure you have a ride and go fucking vote. Give someone else a ride.
Vampires, werewolves together for Warnock. Ty, do you have any
vampires for Warnock? Werewolves for Warnock. I don't know. That sounded good.
All right, Ty. Your closing thoughts after you.
I will say the fuckery is not over, so we need to stay diligent. And I don't know what's going to happen with the fucking dead bluebird. So reach out, follow the other platforms. Mastodon, Post is kind of hard right now because their wait list is kind of long, but Mastodon I actually like it.
I'm gonna wait for Blowhole.
That what?
We're gonna wait for Blowhole. Sorry, Spoutable.
It sounds like we're like hunting Pokemon and we just gotta catch them all.
No, I'm saving myself for Chris.
But we need
Not
to
really
stay
on all the sites. But
we need to stay diligent.
I'll let him know that you're.
But I don't love them. I'm on those sites, but it's not serious.
I really
just having flings with various social media apps. Well, Post doesn't even have an app, so
yeah, it's just a link to this. They're like, oh, download but it's not like an actual. But I like Mastodon more than I thought that I would. Because they don't have the character limit. So on Twitter, you make a post, you have to make it count because you only have so much space to get your point across.
Yeah,
so
it forces you to be efficient.
Yeah, exactly. But Mastodon, it allows you to be more thoughtful, have context, and kind of delve a little deeper into what you're talking about. And that I like.
Ty,
I like that.
As the person who's least likely to shut the fuck up on this podcast, I will admit that you like words.
Yes, I like words.
You're like, yay, room for more work. And no, but like you're a very talented writer, so I can understand your desire for as many characters as possible to get your thoughts out there.
Yes, I like, yeah, but I do. I think I kind of feel like, Twitter burning down, whatever the fuck is going on. But, I've like made my peace with it. And, you've got to evolve and all good things come to an end. So that's kind of how I feel about that. Do we have a shithole of the week award? Because mine is Elon.
I can't even talk. I'm done with him. I can't talk about him anymore this week. We'll save that for next week.
Just do shitholes of the week. Spit him out. Nick Fuentes.
Man.
He's Hispanic, even if you pronounce his name Fuentes. He's not. Anyway, sorry. That's just, cut against him being nothing. Anyway, spit him out.
That was a good one. I wish I'd had a shithole of the week award prepared. I'm gonna give it to Yiannopoulos or whatever the fuck his name is for getting fired from Breitbart. That was pretty fucking incredible. I know that was like 6 years ago, but still, like, you know how much of a fucking disaster you had to be to get fired from Breitbart?
All right, so we'll run through them. Yiannopoulos, shithole. Musk, shithole. Yay, shithole.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, he's all right.
I mean,
Yay. Just made this weird face, girl.
I mean, Kanye's got to be up there. Kanye is in so much trouble that he's getting everybody in trouble. It's incredible. Like, I've never seen a dumpster fire like this.
My issue, like, for me, like, I'm so angry because he was a catalyst for so much anti-Semitic behavior that Kanye was right.
Man.
They were giving that honor, quote unquote, to him. And the Jewish cemetery being defaced and someone writing on the headstones of fucking Holocaust survivors that Ye was right is
I hate it when it's the black dude.
disgusting on so many levels. And that when he tweeted, like his first tweet in a while was shalom with a smiley face, and
so embarrassing.
retweeted it. It makes me sick to my fucking stomach. Like,
Carol, on behalf of the black community, we apologize for Ye's behavior, even though we don't claim him no more.
Oh, thank you. I apologize for the white people who suck. I'm glad we
well, can't you just be like, I'm Jewish? I ain't one of them. Can you disown your white heritage and your background? Is that possible? Can you just give that up?
Hey, my grandma's Jewish, though.
Aha. Well, this makes more sense now.
I mean, I don't consider my heritage as white.
That's fair.
So it's like, we're getting into a different area for closing thoughts. But
all right. As for my closing thoughts,
I'm not saying I'm not white, but my heritage is not that. It's like various European and Eastern European Slavic stuff.
Interesting. We'll have to save that for the next podcast. Write that down. Take some notes.
Thank
you. All right. Yeah. As for my closing thoughts, it's fuck around and find out time. And that concludes this episode of Pardon the Insurrection.